Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. I'm here to be talking about The Bad Guys 2. Now, it's the sequel to the DreamWorks film The Bad Guys, which did pretty well. Could have done better financially, but it was a hit with critics and audiences. And so naturally, they wanted to try to do a sequel, and it's also based off the kids' book series, The Bad Guys. And it follows the gang how after, reforming and, trying to be good, they're trying to get jobs and get back in good graces, but obviously it's tough for them due to their past. They keep getting rejected, but then it gets worse when they get roped up and framed for a new set of heists and crimes going on, which is by the bad girls, if you will, the female versions, I guess, of the bad guys. And so now it's them trying to not only clear their name but also put a stop to what the bad girls are doing. And so I was looking forward to this film with the marketing, just from the first poster that they put out with that red background, which you'll see when I give my official score. That artwork looked great. The overall marketing was pretty solid, although from what I've seen, they've done the interesting thing of basically spoiling the movie and the marketing, especially throughout this weekend. They're just showing multiple clips of the film, and people keep doing the recording the theater thing and just spoiling the movie, and that probably explains to why the film isn't doing as well as one would hope, because it's a really solid film and it's more of the same of the original with great animation and just how stylized it is, and you could tell the animators had a lot of fun with the animation in certain sequences. If you see on the poster, there's that big rocket ship which plays an integral role into the main plot of the film. That whole sequence is really great. Or at the beginning when they're doing a flashback sequence to how one of the new members joins their team, and there's a cool car sequence chase as well. And there's just a lot of fun moments in the film where the characters have this banter off each other and have good voice performances. And that's what I really want to sell the film on, is not only is the animation really solid and a lot of fun, and you could just tell there's so much life in the film, but the performances from a lot of the cast, especially Wolf himself, Sam Rockwell, who I think is a really solid actor, and he's doing a great job with his voice work. Awkwafina, as the Spider, which a lot of people think that she's kind of overused in animation films. Her voice kind of sounds the same, but for the most part she's pretty solid, and I enjoyed her character. And of course, Craig Robinson, as Shark. You have Zazie Beetz as the potential love interest, and Governor the Fox. And so you even have more newcomers the lady from, I remember, not only was she recently in the Minecraft movie, Daniela Brooks, but she was also in Peacekeeper. So she's rising up there in a lot of projects, which is great. And Mark Maron, who is the Snake. The overall voice cast, Anthony Ramos as Piranha, the voice cast from the original obviously reprise their roles with new additions as the bad girls. All the voices are really solid, and they really have they really embody their characters in a pretty solid way. And I just enjoyed, I was just watching a film, and if there was any nitpicks, I would have to say is it is pretty similar in terms of the story beat on their, except just in the order. There's a point in the film where obviously they get framed and everyone turns against them, the public. It's very funny how fast they turn on stuff. They see something, and then all of them have kind of a hive mind on how they think, and then when something's shown differently, they're oh, and then they immediately are forgiven and oh, we're so sorry. And that kind of stuff is kind of, it's funny and all, but it's kind of it feels a bit repetitive, if you will, how in the first film they were all praised as you guys, you saved the day at the end, when the entire film they're being hated on. And here, despite that, they still hate them and don't want to give them jobs and stuff. And then immediately they're yeah, we hate you. And then at the end they're we're so sad about plot development. So it's just interesting how kind of the public is its own character in a way. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's how I took it, where the public of just everyone is its own character, and they start judging or not judging on the flip of a dime, it feels like. But again, the performances were really solid. The animation is really the highlight on why you should see these type of films, because the animation does a lot of the heavy lifting. The story is pretty not bad, but pretty simple and pretty solid overall. But the main selling point is obviously the animation and the voice performances from the cast. And I wonder if we're gonna get more, because the film's doing around the same, on par with the original. So as long as it doesn't do worse than the original, we'll probably keep getting more of these, because it really seems like DreamWorks is trying to make new franchises, like with The Wild Robot, which did really well for them. I hear that they're going to be making a sequel, and in their intro, they also were showing it, highlighting it. And this series, The Bad Guys, was also being highlighted in their new intro. So we'll see where this goes from here, but overall, those are my thoughts on The Bad Guys 2. Again, what did y'all think of this film? If you've had a chance to see it, please let me know down below in the comments section. And if you want to hit the bell as well to get notified when I upload, that would mean so much to me. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye!